Looking through the lens, opinions of three friends. Looking through the lens, sometimes they don't make sense. What's up, everyone? Remember us? It's the unholy
Hello.
trinity
No, they don't.
without the other guy, that guy. We don't need
Yeah,
that guy.
that guy. Nah, it's fine.
I'm
it's
your
fine.
boy, the Zephyros, the ZEFROS, baby. And
He
next
is
to
our
me
boy.
is the
Beautiful.
one and only Skizzle My Nizzle.
That I shall remain impartial to that, but ignorant.
Because I just remembered the Jay-Z song, the H to the Izzo.
Maybe a little bit.
Because I was
not
watching
really.
the Kanye documentary the other day, and then there's footage of that era of Kanye working with Jay-Z, and that was the thing,
Ah.
But in that song, basically he rhymes everything with Izzle or Izzo.
Right.
Anyway, today we are reviewing Uncharted, the movie from a month ago.
Yo.
Ain't that great?
It has been a while. It's been quite a while. Patronus Gold has played all the games, but is not here today, unfortunately, because he is in the process of new house and shit. So that's cool.
He is being held captive in an undisclosed location, and we don't know where he is.
Being forced to do karaoke
Yes, that's what we heard.
against his will. That's what we heard through the grapevine.
But I think he might just have Stockholm syndrome going on because
Yeah, that
he seems
that's
to be enjoying it, which
true.
is alarming.
Yeah, so it's really sad.
We have not
we wish he was here,
contacted
but
the authorities on this because we feel Jack deserves what he's getting right now.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, he deserves it. New space, new state of mind. Speaking of
yes,
of being held captive, Uncharted 2022.
Surely, if you're Uncharted, you're as far away from being captive as possible.
Yeah, but what if you're held captive in uncharted waters, places?
I don't know. Let's start the review.
Starring your boy Tom Holland, the Hollywood superstar of the 2020s and late 2010s. Your favorite boy, everyone on Twitter, the Twitter stands, loving it, loving him. He has fabulous hair these days. I like it.
Does he now?
Yeah. Should check recent pictures of him if you haven't seen that. Or just this interview with Mark Wahlberg. Look at his hair. And speaking of Mr. Wahlberg, he's in this movie as well. Playing Scully. Oh, I forgot to mention Tom is playing your boy Drake. The one and only Drake Bell from the hit show Drake and Josh on Nickelodeon.
I was wondering which Drake you were going to go for there.
Yeah, my favorite Drake, which is Drake Bell. You should search up recent articles and recent news about Mr. Drake Bell if you're not aware.
Oh, I am somewhat aware from a month ago when you and Mr. Patronus Gold, the now prisoner who's now talking about this. But yes, that was a month ago, maybe.
And speaking of certain crimes, never ask Mark Wahlberg why he was arrested in 1986. Put that into your noggin. Yeah. Also search that up if you're curious, dear viewer.
Singular, not plural.
Yeah, because I'm talking one-on-one, to each person who's watching this. So it's a personal experience here in the Unholy Trinity channel. It's like we're having a nice group chat, a one-way conversation, because we don't care about your opinions. We care about our opinion.
Yes. So who wants to take Jack's position? Oh yeah.
What was Jack's position?
Yeah. He was. I mean, do we hold positions? Which we just hold our own position. I hold the position of the Sizzle. You hold the position of the Zephyrus. Zephyrus. That is a word. That is not Zephyros.
It's a nice word.
And Patronus holds the position of Patronus.
Speaking of nice words, we have other actors in this movie, such as Antonio Banderas as Santiago Moncada.
Do we?
Yeah, we do have weird actors. We have Sophia Ali as Chloe Fraser, Ty Gabriel as Braddock, Steve Washington as the Scotsman, Pinky Molly, Hugo, Nate. There's a lot of people, and the others. Anyway, directed by Ruben Fleischer, written by Rafe Judkins, Art Markham, and Matt Holloway. Yeah, anyway, I guess that's it for introduction. Sorry for our digressions. What you think about the movie, man?
So sorry, I blanked for a second. Say that again, please.
What did you think about the movie?
The movie. I thought it was a pretty fun movie. Although it's like I feel like the writers, they tried to make it a little too close to Uncharted 4, which kind of was like, I kind of seen some of this before, and it feels familiar to me. And then I think Jack also had some writing bits to nag on about the last time we talked about it, which was like 2 weeks ago. No, a month ago when we watched it. But yeah, other than that, I just enjoyed it, really. Jack said it was enjoyable as well.
Yes,
and that is
Jack
all he wants to add to this episode before he told us he wasn't going to be here. So that's that.
Yeah, we have context between Jack and ourselves while he's held captive. Yeah, I thought this movie was all right, but I also think it has its downfalls as well, and not the greatest adaptation or interpretation I would consider, and feel like in the story direction they go in this movie, I feel like it's a bit too early if you think about how the stories came about in the games, where like the first, I guess, few games we don't really talk about Nate's origins and his little childhood memories and whatnot. We just want to know about the funny Indiana Jones treasures and the adventures, man. I don't care about little Nathan and his imaginary brother. Oh, spoilers. I mean, spoilers. Not that he's imaginary, but he has a brother, I guess. But you get revealed pretty early on. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, out of practice. Yes. Well, how long has it been since the last review? 2 weeks?
2 weeks, I'd say, or more. Because y'all bitch asses keep canceling our schedules.
Canceling? We're busy, motherfucker.
Damn busy people, or more like
our busy schedule is like conflicting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, I can put it in the schedule.
We do put it in the schedule, but let's try and not like fill this episode up with bullshit. Should we just get straight to the point? We've gone off enough tangents by now.
Right.
That's enough tangents for one episode.
What you thought about the acting?
All right, maybe. I don't know. Seemed.
I mean, it's Tommy.
Average, above average. Tom Holland was good, I think.
He did alright.
Right?
Mark Wahlberg also did alright. Oh, I feel like Mark Wahlberg is not old enough to be Scully.
Nah, definitely not enough. Even if it's like the first adventures together, it's still like
he's too youthful.
Not spoilers.
Scully's
he doesn't even have the mustache.
Old man. Yeah, he doesn't have stash, man. What's with that half-ass dedication to the character, Mr. Wahlberg?
I would understand if this was talking about like, okay, this is this Uncharted 3 spoilers, where it's like going through Nate as a young kid who meets Sully for the first time, but this is Nate as like a grown man.
Fully
this is like alternate universe Nate.
Cinematic Nate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Mark Wahlberg did alright, but he too youthful. He not old enough. He needs to be like 62. I think is he in his 50s, early 50s?
62? How he can barely walk.
Man, don't underestimate 60-year-old people. They can
I am underestimating 60-year-old people. I'm just underestimating 60-year-old Sully. No, 60-year-old Mark Wahlberg.
Scully, is he like in his late 50s? I assume.
Are you saying Scully ironically?
Scully. Oh, I forgot. But I'm gonna still call him Scully though, because I'm rolling with it. Then. Scully.
Victor Scullivan. Oh yes.
Yeah.
He's 40 in wait.
Well, is his nickname Sully or Scully?
Sully, yeah, Sully.
Is his name Scullivan or Sullivan?
Sullivan. I almost said Scullivan. That's Sullivan.
All right, Sully, but he's Scully to me now. How old is he?
He in the time of so where as a kid, when Drake was a kid, he was 40. In Drake's Fortune, he's 56. You're right. He is 60.
Yeah. See, he's 60. Man. See, my eyes perceiving my not the right words there. My ability to perceive the age of old people is improving, I must say. But anyway, other characters, we have that lady. What's her name? Chloe.
There's two.
Chloe? Is it Chloe?
Yes.
Chloe?
Chloe, yes.
We got Chloe. I thought she did
Yeah. I don't know how to
but I have a
really.
I have a few dislikes with the conversations in the writing and whatnot, but like I thought she did I the next lady we have Braddock. Is that the name? Assassin lady.
Yes. That sounds right.
Played by Tati Gabrielle. I forgot to mention Chloe was played by Sophia Ali. You know, I think they fought quite a bit. She did a lot of stabbings. Yeah. Yeah, acting. That's how it is, people. Writing time. Do you have any things to say about the writing?
I feel like some of the writing stuff that I remember Jack talking about is not spoiler friendly. In terms of writing, we're going to talk about. I mean, if you, I'll leave the Uncharted 4 spoilers for Spoiler Zone as well. I would just say that it seems very similar to Uncharted 4 in a lot of ways. Which is like, it's like the thing it takes most from Uncharted 4 is the general vibe of how the entire story goes, kind of, especially at the start, at least for me. But also not really at the same time. It gave me a lot of Uncharted 4 vibes, and that was made me a little bit like I might as well just be watching an Uncharted 4 gameplay, but it wasn't that big of a deal. Didn't detract too much.
Oh yeah. Something just popped up into my mind that I remembered. I have remembered that Tom Holland looks a bit young to be Drake.
They're all a bit young,
yeah.
aren't they?
I mean, like even
Chloe Fraser for me was like a few years too young.
Yeah, they've all been downgraded in this universe, or other. Yeah. Because, like, if I remember correctly, Drake is, he's a bit of a roughened up guy. By the time he's a big boy, he's gone through some stuff.
He
has a
is.
nice.
This is just like they're playing onto the alternate reality Nathan Drake here.
Yeah.
Alternate reality Uncharted, even just like the whole thing. And we can talk a little bit about just how, not going into it or anything, just saying that they're basically completely different characters from like the characteristics that you see these beloved characters as they are in the movie compared to the games.
A bit on that in the writing in a bit. Yeah. Good old Drake has a bit of a rougher exterior, you get me? While, Tommy boy, he's a bit of a pretty boy, and nothing is wrong with that, but it doesn't match his counterpart as well. Writing wise, at the same time, since in this movie, as the first movie, our introduction to the universe, they're going, I guess, all the way to the fourth game story plot points. Is that right?
Basically, there's a few big plot points which are very similar.
I feel like Drake's, a bit on the what do you call it? He's too emotional at the emotional peaks because he's been thrown into situations that require him to be outside because they need the drama, right? And I guess they chose those plot points.
Yeah.
But I feel like because they're already throwing in this narrative about his past and like his brother and whatnot, it undermines a bit of the adventure aspect, even though it does intertwine with the adventure. But like they could have done that for the second movie, man. I feel like if they're gonna make a second movie, the first movie should be like establishing our characters and what they do. Unless
which they didn't even really do that well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If they're trying to, I don't believe from the way that they've actually just made the film that I don't feel like they did it for any fan service. Because if so, the characters would be more true to themselves. And instead of just like not doing what makes them characteristic, they added characteristics that are absolutely just not them in the film as well.
It's like they expect you to know about the Uncharted series and what it is, but also they're making an entire new thing, but like they expect you to know anyway and expect you to like it. But no one really likes that if you're a fan of a thing, Another video game movie ruined by Hollywood. Ugh. As they say.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. He's alright for this one. But like, there's a crucial point on this movie. I feel like the characters aren't fleshed out enough for the first movie.
Not at all.
Even compared to the first game, where they're establishing, character traits, like building pillars, not building pillars, like cornerstones of characters. I'm trying to figure out words in my mind about literacy shit that I'm quite rusty with. Last time I did literacy was year 9,
rusty, bro. Don't worry. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Quote from Nolan North in 2017. No, in 2015. Quote from Nolan North in an interview. Fans do not want an Uncharted film. And right, they shouldn't have. Because if we're just going to get this anyways, I don't know.
Well, if they're going to make one,
fun,
make like a perfecto one.
I feel like that's not the bar these days for modern movie makers though. They don't want something
for
perfect. They just want something that can make in
adaptations.
money. Hey guys, people like Uncharted, right? So
Yeah,
they'll
that's
obviously
usually what
pay tickets.
happens with like
Yeah.
adaptations. Yeah, book adaptations. We got video game adaptations. Although, Sonic movie was alright. Because Sonic,
I haven't watched that still.
I mean, Sonic's general character is pretty easy to to get.
Yeah.
He's Sonic.
And I will talk one final thing briefly on writing. They've had like over the span of like 10 years since like 2010, they've changed producers and writers and directors like 3 or 4 times
For this movie?
for this movie.
Yeah. How long has this movie been in production, or is that just like the planning stages? They keep changing.
It's still like sort of planning stages, but there was like a time in from 2016 till 2019 where they just didn't work on this film because they didn't have a writer or a director.
Okay.
Actually, wait, never mind. Yeah, so actually, so it was only for a few months in 2016. So it actually has been in like production script. It has started script writing since like 2010.
Damn, bro, that's 12 years for this shit.
Holy shit! Yeah, that is 12 years, isn't it?
Damn, kind of
yeah, no. So it's a lot of people leaving the project to work on bigger stuff, and it's also a lot of I don't like the script. I'm gonna redo what this guy who left and rewrite what this guy wrote.
But
eventually, the final thing they landed on was that I'll rewrite it so that I draw upon Uncharted 4 for influence.
They steal Uncharted 4 plot points. But yeah,
and
so it's been a 12-year movie in the makings, And I guess the end result, if you attach it to that timeline, is quite underwhelming for me. Damn. But anyway, cool facts. That's what we thought. Tell us what you thought. Next up, we have what do you have? Cinematography. That's right.
I think it was all right.
They got some cool scenes, some good old action scenes. They got some little fist fights and whatnot. They got the scene where they're jumping out of the plane. That's a big thing. I think they put it on the trailer, so.
Yep.
Yeah, he's all right. Cinematography done by I don't know, and I don't want to open the cast and crew section. Next up,
Chung Hung Chung, Korean pronunciation. I'm sorry if I butchered that.
So, is it outsourced cinematography?
I don't know.
They imported a man, or he's American.
He's also gonna be the cinematographer Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Damn, bro, this guy better be good then. Anyway, editing and visuals. Anything noteworthy?
I mean, it has CGI, so we could talk about that. I guess it looks decent, does it? Looks fine. Looks good. Looks good. Looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right.
It's all right.
They should have CGI'd a mustache on Mark Wahlberg, but they didn't.
Oh yes.
Missed opportunity right there. Yeah. So next up, we have good old audio and music. The music.
Yeah. I think audio is nothing too like crazy.
Yeah.
Music. I mean, it's Ramen Javadi. I'm probably mispronouncing that as well, but I mean, he's
Ramen.
done good stuff. He's done great stuff.
You know.
And this one in particular, it feels like I remember watching it, and probably because I haven't interacted with the Uncharted series all too much, so it's not like the Nathan Drake theme being too much of a sticker for me, or something that I listened to while watching the movie and was like, oh, they finally did the theme.
No. Oh yeah, they did. But like, even for me,
Yeah,
I was just like, yeah, they did the theme, but like, this is not the real Drake, so I'm not that impressed. You get me?
Yeah, I was kind of like, I can tell when it happened, but it didn't seem, they didn't really build to make that like theme stand out. It was at like the end of the film, wasn't it?
I think it was.
And also, it wasn't too much of it. It was like, no, I can't talk. You go.
Yeah, the Drake theme, yo. When it's alright, but it's not like a, it's just like a funny, fun reference at the end to end of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say it. They didn't do it. They didn't do the thing where they like blasted at you all the time, and it got really repetitive and old. But at the same time, I don't feel like they did it enough. They could have.
They didn't do it in the
more
in the climax moments, man.
Yeah.
When it's supposed
Pretty
to
sure
be
they did
there.
in one climax moment, did they? Or was that a climax moment, or was that just like end of the film?
I honestly don't remember.
Me neither. Take what we're saying with a grain of salt. But I'm pretty sure they only did it once. And the lasting impression was not that great.
Yes. I'm sorry, but I keep thinking about the movie Rush Hour 2 because I watched that like 2 days ago. With Jackie Chan and
you have every right to think about that.
Because that movie was funny and I liked it a lot.
It was.
I should review that as a quickie. So yeah, note to self.
We can review that as a quickie.
Have you watched that movie?
Oh, me and my parents love it.
Yeah, Rush
me and
Hour
my family.
Funny.
Yeah.
Jackie Chan's funny. Even though he's a bit of a communist sympathizer these days.
He do be, but yes.
But that's part of his charm, you know.
Oh yes, good, that classic communist charm.
Yeah. Speaking of communism, spoilers zone.
Part of this is communism.
We might mention communism. You never know. It's spoiler zone where we mention everything.
Wow.
Anyway, you guys can skip if you're tired of us talking. And timestamp should be there. Anyway, you want to talk about the things that Jack has talked about, which I forgot about?
So he was like, for the only things I remember him talking about, he doesn't get why Nathan Drake is this alcoholic.
No, he's not.
He is. He's like,
like in the game.
Oh, I gotta taste this 500-year-old wine. Which, what? Yeah, no, I see. I sympathize with you more than I do with Jack. I mean, he's just like trying alcohol.
Because Jack is,
but at the same time, he's
Jack
also
is like in denial of himself, like becoming an alcoholic. So he's like projecting on Nathan Drake. You get me?
Okay, fair enough.
I feel like that's what's happening.
I wouldn't know, but you can tell me that. But yeah, they do paint Nolan. They do paint Nathan Drake as a sort of alcohol liker.
Well, he's a bartender.
Nathan Drake likes alcohol.
Yeah.
He's a bartender, and he would know about alcohol.
Yeah, so he's like, that's some legit.
He gives some. Even to me, he gave like the vibes of like, is he an alcoholic? And then I thought about it, and I was like, no, he isn't. But it still made me like, I was still like thinking about it enough, like during the movie, even without Jack telling me in the first place.
I think it makes sense that because he's a bartender, he knows like the good stuff. So when he sees this vintage shit, he's like, I gotta try this, man.
I mean, fair enough, but like,
yeah. I mean, it's not like he drinks
no.
throughout the movie, does he? I don't think he does. Does he drink every 5 minutes? I'm pretty sure he doesn't.
Nah.
Yeah. So anyway, point debunked. Get dunked on, Patronus Gold, man. You've been owned by yours truly.
Yes.
Is there any other things you remember?
Sully was a bit weird
because he's not old enough, and he's a bit of a dick because in this movie Nathan and Sully just met.
Oh yeah.
They don't have that
what Jack
chemistry
said
yet.
was that they don't have that chemistry. Also, that ties into what Jack said. He was like Sully's lines and like the dialogue was weird. That's what he said.
Yeah. Well, I just feel like the general writing of dialogue in this movie is very not kind of a it's kind of a bit on the too goofy action movie type of thing going on, where it's like when they try to be somewhat serious and introspective, they just do a funny line. But a funny line as in like the line doesn't work. Or like funny sentence. Be like, I am telling you stuff you already know, kind of thing. That you may already know, but I'm telling it. Yes.
Yeah. Nah.
But that's how it be, man.
That is how it be. I mean, a lot of this all ties back into they tried to follow Uncharted 4 script a little too closely, didn't they?
But
kind of
that wouldn't
but then
work
also they didn't want to do anything too similar.
Of Drake just meeting son Scully. I mean, keep calling him Scully. Scully. Does it?
Go on.
Is that what happens in Uncharted 4?
In Uncharted 4, it mainly talks about how Sam reunites with him. Forgot to mention at the start of spoilers, and that this is spoilers for Uncharted 4 as well. But
because him meeting game.
Sully was Uncharted 3. I went back and watched gameplay from 1, 2, and 3, so I'm caught up on the story there to extents. Yeah, the main plot points that was very similar was that I got this cross, and the cross is a key, and I have to steal a cross from an auction at this black market auction place where this guy who's also trying to buy it. So we got to steal it from there, and then we got to go to this place and use that key to find to get more clues as to how to find the actual place of the treasure, and then we go to the place to find the treasure, and then it's a pirate ship stuck in a cove.
So it's treasure elements. Okay.
Yes, but it's very similar to Uncharted 4. I guess they realized this and was like, we're gonna make it different. And I guess they chose to do that by changing who the characters are. And honestly, a lot of things like the what was the antagonist lady's name?
It's Braddock, which is a funny name.
Joe Braddock, which is basically just Nadine Ross, but more evil from Uncharted 4. And then they do the thing where it's like Santiago Moncada could be like Rafe, and instead of Rafe betraying Nadine, it's Joe Braddock betraying Santiago. There's still betrayal there.
Betrayed.
And then like the whole Chloe thing as well. Like Chloe is supposed to be this femme fatale character.
Yeah.
While in this film, she's kind of just like there.
She's not hot enough to be the femme of the fatale.
I thought actually that the Sophia Ali is a very good like Chloe Fraser lookalike, or like has the vibes of being a Chloe Fraser. It's just that she just didn't act like it, or wasn't written to be like Chloe Fraser.
What I feel as well.
Yeah,
she not written good enough.
The other thing I feel like about Chloe Fraser, I mean, Chloe Fraser in the games, voice acted by Claudia Black, and she's got such a deep voice that's I feel like becomes super iconic to Chloe Fraser these days. What with 2.5 games of Chloe Fraser, as well as a standalone like it's not a DLC, it's like a branch spin-off. That's the word. So Chloe Fraser, I mean, if I feel like if she don't got the voice, it's like But
it's more like
new Chloe Fraser,
though.
new Nathan Drake, new Sullivan.
Yeah. Even without the voice, I think they could have pulled it off with the attitude and the personality.
Yeah,
but they don't got it, so
they just don't. Yeah.
Why they gotta do my man Scully like that? Still, still on my Scullys. Anyway, I think that's. Do you have anything else to add?
Briefly talk about Nolan North, who has a cameo.
Oh yeah,
and basically jokes about how I jumped out of a plane as well. Like they're trying to cover up the fact that yes, we're just stealing this thing from Uncharted 3. It's fine.
Nolan.
Which like I honestly that's not me like being serious about it. I do like the taking the stuff from old games and doing it in film. I think that's pretty cool. And apparently they want to do the car scene from Uncharted 4 as well. Which was a really cool car chase. Like I remember when Tom Holland was playing Uncharted 4 with Jacksepticeye, Tom Holland and Jacksepticeye was like, I want to do this scene in the film.
Yeah.
But yeah. Nolan North cameoing. I think we all knew that Nolan North was going to cameo at some point. I also really wish what's his name? I forgot. I literally looked up his name just now. Richard McGonagall playing Victor Sullivan. I really wanted Sullivan's voice actor and mocap art actor from the games to come have a cameo.
But instead,
because he's got such a nice voice as well. He's got the voice. You can tell he smoked like 10,000 cigars.
He got that raspy, old man with a who's going through a lot kind of guy. Tough guy.
But I would have really loved to see them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sullivan also doesn't have like the playboy side of him, does he?
Well, it's not really shown in this one.
Yeah, for better or for worse. But yeah,
Mark Wahlberg want to avoid those #MeToo's allegations coming up again.
Yeah.
Might ignite some traumatic experiences back for some viewers.
Final thing, I guess, that I wanted to touch on was the post-credit scenes and the mid-credit scene as well. Post-credit scenes.
Oh, I don't think I had that in my viewing.
Oh, damn. Mid-credit scene
watching a good copy
is the brother riding from prison, which is exactly the same as Uncharted 4, basically. But in Uncharted 4, they went through how he got out of prison, and then there was a whole film about how he's gone out with his brother and doing things. the mid-credit scene was just him writing on a postcard saying, "I don't know if you're getting these postcards or not, but I'm always here. S for Sam." And because postcards are a big thing in this film, with Nathan getting postcards from Sam, and apparently Sam died in a gunfight, which is not true. He's just in prison.
It's fake
and
news.
That's probably setting up the second film. But then they set up the second film again with this like map of the location of Sir Francis Drake's coffin, which was the first game, and then and then a guy comes in and his name's Gabriel, and his name's Roman, which we presume is Gabriel Roman from the first game.
They backtrack.
And then Sullivan comes in with his mustache.
Damn, they really doing
Sullivan
that.
Sully gets his mustache at the end of everything. But yeah, Roman in the second film, Sam in the second film, Sully's mustache in the second film, and Chloe comes back apparently. Well, a mystery character confronts fucking Nathan and Sully with a gun, I guess, at the very, very end of the post-credit scene. And then they're like, "Oh, not you!" And then we don't see who it actually is. We can probably tell it's Chloe.
It's Chloe.
Unless it's like halfway during the second film and it's like Elena or something.
Unless it is a crossover tie-in for the brand new Super Mario Brother movie, and it was Mario. It's me, Mario, played by Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt was originally. Chris Pratt was planned on playing Nathan Drake.
I think Chris Pratt would have been like a better visual
Nathan Fillion
choice for Nathan.
Nathan Fillion, though.
Who's Nathan Fillion?
Okay, I only know this in part, but supposedly the character of Nathan Drake is directly based on Nathan Fillion, the actor, in real life. And if you just search up Nathan Fillion, looks pretty damn similar.
Then I mean, he could have been him. Yeah. But I feel like if they did cast Chris Pratt like 2 years ago for this movie, it would have been more on par to the game.
Yeah. Nathan Fillion also played Nathan Drake in the fan film, the live-action fan film of Uncharted.
Did that exist? I guess it did.
Cool. I'm not actually seeing anything that Nathan Drake was based on Nathan Fillion. From like 10 seconds of research. But yeah, we can end the episode there.
I think that's a good time to end it. Because, yeah, we're going 40 minutes in. Yeah, final verdicts, y'all. Starting with me. I thought this movie was an alright movie. I'm alright with it, but like, you know, it ain't like the games, man. It ain't like the games. But you know, it's alright. I'm gonna give it like a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10? I think I would give it a 7 out of 10 because it's just like all right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There you go, folks. That's a 6.5 total for Uncharted 2022, starring Mark Wahlberg and only Mark Wahlberg. Thanks for watching. Tell us what you thought in the comment section below. Like if you like if you dislike, slap that subscribe button in the face. Ring turn on that notification bell so you will never miss our great upload schedule of one video every 3 weeks. every month.
Yes,
Every
absolutely.
2 months.
God damn. God fucking damn.
And we'll see you in the next one. Hopefully less than 2 months
Hopefully.
away.
Fingers
Bye-bye.
crossed. Bye-bye.